All right, everyone, welcome back once again to this Beefcast presentation. I'm your casting host, Beef. Joining me once again is Snow. Shay, excited for some more Terran action?
I'm very excited for some more Terran action.
We were misinformed there a few minutes ago, and we were told that the last Terran had been eliminated from the tournament, and I was scared. I don't know how to live in a world without Terran.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't like to play when there's not Terran around.
Right? We went to the NASL Season 3 finals, and there were no Terran there. And it was sad. It was a sad tournament because there was no Terran. So I'm happy that there's still going to be at least one Terran in our semifinals here. You ready for this match?
I was born ready for this match.
Born ready. So was he. Down in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, the green Terran, he is BestWorldX.
Facing up in the top right, the pink Terran, Eyebrows.
Yeah, Eyebrows. A returning member here at the Buzz Open. He's actually one of the admins of the tournament. So big shout out to Disco Stew and Eyebrows for setting all of this up. Appreciate it. And big shout out to Buzz Chris for donating the prize pool for this weekend's tournament. This is actually going to be a round of 8 match here at the Buzz Open number 2 as we start to make our way into the semifinals after just this last match. And we'll see how this goes, whether Eyebrows is going to be able to pull it out and make his way into the semis, or if newcomer BestWorldX is able to upset the current admin champion. So right now, both players kind of going for their own build. Right now, Eyebrows looking like he is going for a 1-Rax, whereas Gas first for our green Terran. So with
Quite
Gas,
a bit early.
yeah,
Eric's just now going down.
really early Gas. So what do you read from that?
Well, it tells you that the factory is going to be coming up very soon. This is potentially air or potentially Hellion build.
Okay. I'd love to see some Hellions. I love watching mech.
Oh, there's the second refinery, which I think Hellion may be a little bit less likely.
Yeah, with that second refinery coming up, it's becoming increasingly likely that this is going to be very early cloaked Banshee play, with the first Banshee making its way out as early as about 7 minutes. So we'll see. That would be fun to watch, see if Eyebrows is able to react properly to that, with Cloak Banshee being one of the many options here in the early Terran versus Terran arsenal. He's going to have to be prepared unless he wants to take significant economic damage. Eyebrows kind of sitting
all the way up to 200 gas here already, and he does have fully saturated refineries, so he's got to make his move here in the next couple of seconds, and he's going to get that factory.
Yep.
And there it is. As soon as he hit 150 minerals.
Eyebrows at home was banking up quite a few minerals himself and opts to throw down the high ground command center. So not going to let his opponent know what is up, but dropping that command center to try to take an early economic lead. And he's still not looking like he's going to be set up to deal with the Cloaked Banshees, which are almost inevitably coming right here. But did that SCV actually make it in there? No, it made it up, but it didn't see anything. It definitely didn't see the factory.
Definitely far enough back, I would think. They wouldn't get any sense in that.
Yeah, the factory was not scouted at this point, but he did see that there was no add-on to the tech lab right there, and he also did see that there was no factory down, at least right next to the ramp. So the SCV is going to be set up in position down here so that he can get
A sense that when that expo drops, if it drops, he'll know right away.
Yeah, exactly. And up in the top left-hand corner of the map, a proxy starport is actually coming out here for Best World. So he's actually going to be looking to make his tech lab out there, where he will be starting Cloak, to avoid any kind of money scans. And a reactor actually going to be coming out right now for the factory. So we will be seeing Hellions after all.
Well, he did originally have a tech lab, which he canceled.
Huh. Interesting play there. Eyebrows with his command center finished, now back at home, is banking quite a few minerals as he starts his orbital commands. I would expect to see a few more barracks be thrown down here as well to take advantage of the increased income. A group of Marines is going to be making its way out as well as the tech lab does start in the top left-hand corner on that starport. With 500 gas currently for our green Terran, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that there's going to be Cloak, right?
Yeah, I mean, you would think so. It's a 200 gas upgrade. But there's a lot of difference there between his mineral count and his gas count.
It's very true. It's a 200 upgrade for Cloaking Field, so and it does start right there. But he does have a very low mineral saturation right now. Total of 21 SCVs, but 6 of those being allocated to gas right now. Only 15.
Actually salvaging a bunker here for a few extra minerals.
Yeah, and so he's going to be relatively undefended at home in the event that Eyebrows does want to push out with this. But Eyebrows content to go ahead and macro up right now. SCVs do make their way over into the main, and so this is going to be a nice bit of damage here with these couple of Hellions. I think
And the engine bay is going down inside Eyebrows main. But if he's seeing the Hellions, he's going to be a little focused on those, not necessarily thinking, oh, okay, I got Cloak Banshees coming in next.
Yeah, but one read that Eyebrows could have possibly made from this is that those Hellions are not gas units. If he's got that factory, why does he have the factory up? And where's the gas going? So he could be thinking Cloak Banshee right here. And the Banshee is going to be making its way in right now, but Cloak is still about 30 seconds away from being finished right here. So this Banshee is going to start racking up kills, but it's going to have to worry about Marines. However, the Marines are all the way at the front of the base right now, standing next to the bunker, and the Marines still not making their way over, because as soon as they do, the Hellions are going to want to make a big run by, and there's going to be 5 Hellions making their way into the natural right now as the Banshee just continues racking up kills all the way up to 7 for the time being. With no stim, those Marines are highly immobile, and Eyebrows really needs to get some turrets started here to deal with all of this pressure. Hellions going to
see the Hellions came right back in and did their own quite a few SCV kills and a couple Marine kills.
Yeah, and the Banshee back in the main once again going to start working on the command center this time with no SCVs on site right now at either location. Let's take a look. There's actually only 10 SCVs on the map for Eyebrows currently. And the main command center does actually lift off behind this. Back at home for Best World, he has gone ahead and dropped a command center, so wants to be able to macro out of this. But the Banshees in his base right now are just doing so much work. There's even a second Banshee that has been rallied to the top of the map. Going to be able to come in here and finish up what the first one has started. If there's anything to finish up after all, a total of 2 SCVs remain on the map for Eyebrows, and still banking a decent amount of minerals. But does Eyebrows simply have the resolve to stay in this game right now, clean everything up, and even a scan forced out right there, something that could have been a mule, something that should have been a mule, so that he could get back into the econ game here. And he doesn't even manage to pick the Banshee off with that after all.
Yep, looks like this Banshee is made all the way up to the rank of captain.
And the second Banshee actually in the main right here, able to pick off the tech lab on the factory. So nothing going to be coming out of that factory right now other than just Hellions. But right now he simply doesn't have the minerals or anything.
Oh.
Another scan to be coming down there. But without stim, the Banshee's just able to scoot on away. Banshee production has ceased for the time being. Actually, a third Banshee going to be finishing up right there after all. But this Banshee is running low on energy, down to about 8 more seconds of cloaking right here. He's going to be able to pick off 2 or 3 more Marines if he chooses to target those, but he's not paying attention right now, and he might lose that Banshee after all. 1 Marine actually going to be making its way over there, and the Tech Lab falls for a second time, as does the Marine. And this Banshee's still just doing so much work right now. The other Banshee all the way up to over a minute of cloaking on the right side of the map there. And Eyebrows looking in a very rough position, working off of only 6 SCVs. Thankfully, he does have double orbital, whereas opponent is working off of double command center with 1 orbital, although the second has started back at home.
Now, the only sort of edge, if you want to just give him an edge in any way, is to look down at the green turn, who really hasn't built much of a follow-up. He's built a few Hellions, he's getting an armory down, he's got another factory down, but he doesn't necessarily have the on-the-field force at the moment to follow this up.
Yeah, he's got a large bank, though, and especially looking at that 1,200 gas right there, he's going to be able to produce a lot of tanks. He's going to be able to produce a lot of Vikings if he so chooses to go that way, or continue Banshee production for as long as he wants. Banshee going to get into a fight with a missile turret there. Unfortunately, that is not a fight that a Banshee will ever win. And a second turret trying to go up right there, but the Banshee does go ahead and snipe the SCV. That one will never finish either.
Oh, 21 kills, Commander goes down. He'll be sending ribbons to his family.
And 2 out of the 3 Banshees do end up falling here, so Eyebrows looking like he might be able to stabilize on out of this. Banshee production it has stopped for the time being as a Raven is being added to the composition right now for Best World. And back at home, the mech production has started in earnest as a Thor is now going to be coming out. And Hellion's going to be continuing as well. Right now, Blue Flame has not started, though. And with that Tech Lab not researching anything right there, I'd like to see Blue Flame come out on the Hellion since he's going to be adding those as an integral part of his composition. There's Blue Flame.
About the third time that Tech Lab has to eat it.
Yeah, back in the base, the Banshee just continuing to put out some punishment right here, picking off anything that it can. A reactor going to fall down here on that barracks in just a moment, and he's trying to get it. He needs another hit. Another hit. One more. Just two more. Three more hits. That Banshee is so frustrated, but finally the reactor does go down. The troll reactor there trying to build itself back up, and Eyebrows continuing to try to stabilize right here, up to almost 40 supply again, and at about half the SCV count of his opponent. And with the Banshees, for the time being, stopping their harassment, this is really giving Eyebrows the time that he needs to possibly get back into this game. But if you look back at his opponent's base, the army is looking pretty ferocious, to be honest. A Raven accompanying a Thor, and 9 Marauders, and 8 Hellions. This is actually going to be a brutal composition to deal with.
Yeah, very, very difficult to hold that off, especially coming from so far behind in the race.
Certainly, with the barracks going up here in the front, Eyebrows looking to try to wall off his main, but right now his only fighting units are going to be about 12 Marines and 3 Marauders with 1 siege tank, but siege mode just starting right now for both players. Well, just starting right now for Eyebrows. Siege mode already is not completed for Best World, and Blue Flame Hellion's going to be revealed up here, and Eyebrows probably just saying, this is probably getting ridiculous. Point defense drone does go down from the Raven up here as it starts to take a little bit of fire from the missile turret, but the PDD going to go ahead and clean that up nicely.
Happy to absorb that for it.
Yep, the tanks and the Marauders going to be making their way in there and take out their opponent's units. Marine's going to fall as well as Eyebrows falls down to just 25 supply. The Raven does fall to a missile turret right there, but the Terran player looking like he's just going to be in a real bad way with the mech army bearing down on his natural right there. If he had siege mode up right here, he might be able to make a hold at the top of this ramp, but unfortunately siege mode's still about 5 seconds out, and with the rest of the forces completely wiped out, this one large siege tank is going to try to get a siege up, and he does get one shot off, but it's simply not going to be enough. Falling all the way down to 10 supply now is Eyebrows as a Thor camps the bottom of the ramp over here. And Eyebrows pulls the SCVs in one final attempt to try to clean this up, and now just needs a moment to compose himself before the GG comes out. Eyebrows drops the first game to Best World with some impressive Banshee play and a little bit of mech action as a follow-up.
Well, if you're ever going to put together a replay pack of how to completely dismantle early game build using Banshees, that would be one of them.
Yep. Proxy, Starport, Cloaked Banshees. Ooh, brutal. I've been your casting host, Beef. Joining me has been Snow. Thank you very much for watching. We're going to get into Game 2 of this Best of 3 series coming out of the Buzz Open number 2. See who makes it onto the semifinals and who is out of the race for today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next game.